Hello everyone, it's your boy, the Fantasy Football Almanac, back at it with another best ball draft video. Today we're hopping in a puppy draft, $5 entry fee up to $1 million in prizes, $200,000 for first place, and $100,000 for second place. So we're trying to build a team with the absolute highest upside that we possibly can. Here we got Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey coming off the board 1 and 2. Makes sense. I mean, these guys are probably offer the highest upside at pretty much almost any other fantasy player. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, maybe not the highest upside, but definitely, without a doubt, the highest floor and ceiling combination in the entire draft. That's why he goes up the board 1. Today we got pick 12. Pick I kind of like. I mean, it's nice having the 12th pick. He gets to double up with 2 players that you really like. But in this 12 range, there are like 5 or 6 players that I really like, and they end up falling to every time. It really doesn't leave a lot of room for creativity at pick 12 and 13. At least not in the first round. It's a little unfortunate. But if you do like these puppy drafts, these best ball videos, please go down, leave a comment below, leave a like on this video, and subscribe. We'll be announcing a giveaway sometime later in the video, so make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you see this whole video. We got Derrick Henry coming off the board at pick 5. A little bit surprising. Honestly, pretty surprising. You don't see Derrick Henry coming off the board at pick 5 very often. We got Dalvin Cook coming off the board at pick 8. And since this is a puppy draft, ADPs are going to be changing not a lot. Like, ADP doesn't really matter as much. Saquon Barkley at 17.3 right now. I think it's a lot better, or kind of smart to take him potentially here at 13. Will I take him? I don't know. But I think the justification can be made. Essentially because Najee Harris most likely dealing with a foot injury. I mean, I'm not worried about the risk that much. We're gonna double up. We're gonna get 2 phenomenal running backs here. I would have taken Saquon Barkley over Swift and over Aaron Jones, but doesn't happen. Coach expresses workload concerns. Not too worried. A lot of news has been dropping recently. I mean, Deshaun Watson. I will make a video. Will be up sometime later today. I had work the entire day, so I couldn't make a video during work. But a video will be up sometime today, talking about Deshaun Watson 6-game suspension. I mean, Deshaun Watson absolutely going to be skyrocketing up these draft boards now, which is fine by me. I mean, I think it is smart now, since this puppy just launched. Go into these puppy drafts. I'm telling you right now, go into these puppy drafts, and while Deshaun Watson's ADP is, in the 160s, 170s, go in and grab him in the 140s, in the 130s. Because you're going to be getting him a lot cheaper than most of these other people, because he's going to be pushed up a ton in these drafts. I wonder what his ADP is right now, actually, as of today. Deshaun Watson, 163. He's probably going to be pushed up. I imagine he's getting drafted in the 140s, the 130s. So we're probably going to be taking him here at pick 132. So that's fair, just to ensure we pretty much get him for the most part. He might even be going higher, in which case I would be, who cares. But we've been getting Deshaun Watson everywhere. I looked at my exposures today. He's my most drafted quarterback. Second most drafted is Hayden Hurst, but these 2 guys are my most 2 drafted quarterbacks. So I think Deshaun Watson, where he was going was an absolutely insane value. I really couldn't believe it. it was just ridiculous to me that Deshaun Watson was going at pick 200. Again, I've been telling you guys every single draft I've been getting into recently, take him where you can. I really hope you guys listened. If you did, congratulations on hopefully winning some good money. People didn't really realize the upside that Deshaun Watson had. Missing 6 games, it is tough. I will admit it is, a fair amount of time to miss. But if you're getting him at pick 130, Deshaun Watson's 6 games is absolutely insane. And what's nice about this puppy draft, too, is that all these people are going to be getting Deshaun Watson at the same ADP. It's not like Deshaun Watson when he fell to pick 200 about a month ago or something like that. Like, Deshaun Watson's going to be at pick 163 for pretty much everybody. And it's going to go up. Obviously, he's going to be up to probably, I would say, pick 100. Just ballpark estimate, maybe 110 we could see. But he'll pretty much be back to where he was before the draft. Also, these guys like Amari Cooper, David Bell is going to be off the board kind of early. Much earlier now, Amari Cooper. We might be taking a full stack with Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper, and all these guys. If the value does present itself, honestly. Because we will most likely be getting Amari Cooper here sometime around pick 60, pick 61. He's off the board, I'm assuming around pick 68. Let me just check. Pick 66. So he's already rising just a tiny bit. But we'll take him at pick 60, 61-ish. Hope for the best. We still have some really, really good running backs on the board. Not usually what you expect to see at this range in the draft. I usually don't expect to see James Conner or Travis Etienne here. Maybe one of them falls, but usually seeing both is a little bit surprising and a little concerning, quite frankly, for me. Because I did take 2 RBs here. It is a little unfortunate that these guys are still on the board. We probably will go with one of them here if they still are on the board, and one of them will be. It is nice, though, that we have back-to-back picks here, so we can go with someone like James Conner and Marquis Brown. Can't be too mad about something like that. Hopefully this guy does take one of the 2 running backs, though, because I don't want to have to even think about taking both. I wouldn't take both here. I mean, it's just not smart, but I wouldn't even want to have to consider it. Hopefully he does take one. He does have 2 wide receivers. He goes Jalen Waddle. We're going to take James Conner here. It does hurt a little bit, but James Conner is a very, very good player. And then Hollywood Brown, a guy who I really like, a guy who I think is fairly rated in these drafts, but definitely not underrated at this point with where he's being drafted. But he is a really, really talented player. And he's going into an offense that really fits his style, just about as well as possible. Marquis Hollywood Brown joining a team that throws the ball deep, with a quarterback that throws the ball deep better than any other quarterback last year in terms of accuracy, any other quarterback in the entire league. So even though, everyone makes fun of Kyler Murray from time to time, I can definitely catch myself making fun of Kyler Murray here and there. Marquis Hollywood Brown's still nonetheless a great player. The one problem is Marquis Hollywood Brown does drop the ball a lot. Not that it matters much for fantasy. It does suck seeing a 60-yard touchdown ripped away from you from a dropped pass. But other than that, Marquis Hollywood Brown still should be one of the most talented wide receivers in the entire league, so we will gladly take him here. I do like this team combination so far. It is a lot of running backs. No matter what, pick 60, 61, we are not going to be taking a running back. We're really hoping for, just to check out the board here, Bateman would be awesome. I did see some news all over the field at camp. I saw that today, which is awesome. Darnell Mooney, Chris Godwin, been soaring up, which is nice because we have been taking a lot of Chris Godwin here. He is possible to play week 1. And then Amari Cooper, where is he here? These 4 guys right here are guys we would really, really like to drop to us. We are also hoping some of these running backs come off the board a little bit more. We do have Breece Hall and Cam Akers now coming off the board, meaning that is pretty good for us, honestly. We do really, really like to see that. We kind of wanted these guys off the board. At least as much as possible. Now we got Deontay Johnson coming off the board. I don't think there's really any chance we get a Rashad Bateman here, but it is possible we get a Mooney or a Godwin. I think what we might do is we might try and build our team around trying to get Deshaun Watson late, if possible, if we do get Amari Cooper. Because, honestly, now that Amari Cooper is, receiving passes from Deshaun Watson, now that we know for, 11 games, he goes to being, a 52nd, 51st best player? Probably better, honestly. I would prefer him over Allen Robinson. I could say that Amari Cooper would ascend to Courtland Sutton level territory. That's where I'd value him. So that's where we're going to hope to get him here. I'm going to be eating them all up. I'm going to be hopping as many drafts as I can. Trying to get this guy as much as possible. Darren Waller, Jerry Jeudy, Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes. Now that we know about this whole suspension jargon with Amari Cooper, and it is nice because look at his ADP right now. He's behind all of these running backs. Behind A.J. Dillon, Elijah Mitchell, Josh Jacobs, J.K. Dobbins. People aren't going to notice his name here. So get him while you can. Get him as soon as possible. We just got to hope Jerry Jeudy could fall here potentially, which would be sick. Probably not, though. The odds are really, really low. I would love that. We do have Rashad Bateman coming off the board. People do love their Rashad Bateman, and he is going to be flying up these boards with the new reports coming out that he's going to be all over the field. We got Jalen Hurts here coming off the board over Pat Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Now, I am a tried and true Jalen Hurts lover. I love Jalen Hurts with all my heart in terms of his fantasy production this season. But 52, I don't like that. I don't like that pick there. I do like the pick in general, but I don't like that pick there. Chris Godwin comes off the board, a little bit worrying. We do have Jerry Jeudy still on the board. Some of these QBs still on the board as well. It is... I could talk myself into taking Lamar if the opportunity is there. Just because, the stacks are going to be absolutely... Or not stacks, but, the team will be absolutely insane. because not too many people are going to have Lamar with the combination of these players. I am hoping for Mooney, though, but it is possible we do end up taking Lamar here. I mean, one of these guys, George Kittle, too, would be a nice addition. We're 4 picks away, and there's, 4 players we really like, so as long as we don't get sniped on 2 of them, we'll be fine. Really hope that's not the case. George Kittle comes off the board, a little bit unfortunate. I would really, really like somebody to take a running back here. If somebody could potentially reach on one of these J.K. Dobbins, Josh Jacobs types, I mean, that would just be awesome. If not, I probably would. I feel like Ace Sullen's probably going to be taking Amari Cooper here. He goes Darnell Mooney. Let's go. Okay, fine. Lamar Jackson comes off the board as well. A little bit unfortunate. We are hoping for Amari Cooper coming off the board here. Or not coming off the board here. And then going probably Patrick Mahomes as well. Stacking up, getting absolutely insane double stack. A stack that doesn't fall too often. And Pat Mahomes is a week 8 bye, meaning we can take him. Oh my God, we get sniped on Pat Mahomes. We're taking Amari Cooper here, 100%. And then second player we're taking here. I mean, I don't really like taking Kyler Murray, but we do have Hollywood Brown, so I will take him here. I think it is fine, even though he tested positive for COVID and had the news coming out. I'm sure you guys all saw, requiring him to study for 4 hours a week in his own time on his contract, which is just absolutely embarrassing. The Cardinals did come out and revoke it, saying that that's not what they meant, but, like, what could they possibly have meant? I mean, come on. It's pretty funny, honestly. I do really like it. One thing that does suck is looking at this row right here. These are all 5 players we would have really, really died for here. We don't get. It's okay. I mean, honestly, all the players past Jalen Hurts, we would have really, really liked. But I do like this team a lot, honestly. I think a lot of these running backs are going to be coming off the board, which is good. I mean, I'll gladly take it. We want these running backs to be absolutely off this board by the time we pick again. Now our position of need is tight end, really. I mean, what else do we really need? We have solid wide receivers, not great, but solid wide receivers, insane running backs, and an average quarterback. And Kyler Murray, if he does run the ball a lot, will be absolutely insane, and he is getting D-Hop back. We do have a decent stack, and now we pick Deshaun Watson around pick 130. And we ride with Kyler Murray the first 6 weeks of the season. Just him. And we go from there. I think that's the best course of action, getting Amari Cooper, stacking him up. I'm telling you guys, please, 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 stack Amari Cooper everywhere. Take Donovan Peoples-Jones. Take David Bell absolutely everywhere now. Now that we know this news, I'm telling you, hop on as soon as possible. Take advantage of these ADPs while you can. If you guys are watching this far, please go down, leave a like on this video, leave a comment, let me know how you think I did. Let me know what you think of Deshaun Watson's suspension. Was it too much, too little? And subscribe. And now time to announce the giveaway. If you guys are still watching, please go down to the comments, comment #bestball, and subscribe. You go to all my videos and comment #bestball to be entered into the contest. 1 entry per video. And you get a chance to win $50 to Underdog Fantasy, meaning you can hop in the Puppy 3s for a chance to win $2 million or $100,000. I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as you're winning some money, can't be too mad. And these drafts are so much fun. Whether it's preparing for like your home league or anything, I mean, I just have an absolute blast. It's so much fun. We got Josh Jacobs coming off the board, J.K. Dobbins. We're finally seeing these running backs coming off the board. It's a little surprising how late they're coming off, but it is interesting. If I had known that a little earlier, I probably would have taken someone like Devontae Adams or CeeDee Lamb at pick 12 over Najee, because I'm a little concerned with Najee's ceiling. I think his floor is actually exceptional. I think his floor is insane, one of the highest floors in the entire league. But his ceiling really isn't there here. I don't think he has the capacity, unless something crazy happens, to really have an insane Week 17 boom, which is the one reason I don't like him. But I think he does have the potential to be a really, really solid running back. And when you have a team like this, I'm really not too mad about it at all. Because the rest of this team is really boom-bust. I mean, Amari Cooper for the longest time was known as the most boom-bust wide receiver in the entire league. He would have those random 35-point games and then falter back to like 7. Now he's got the best quarterback of his career. Sure, Derek Carr was great. Sure, Dak Prescott was great. But none of these 2 guys are Deshaun Watson. Neither of them. Neither of them are Deshaun Watson. Trey Lance coming off the board. He's been slowly creeping up. Now I think it's to the point where he's really not too much of a value anymore. I'd say in these best ball drafts, he still you can make a case for it, just because the ceiling is absolutely there. But at this point, I think he's going off the board as the quarterback, 7? I think that's just a little bit too high. We do have DeAndre Hopkins here on the board, which we would love to take. Because we do have Kyler Murray, because we do have Marquis Brown. We want these guys as much as possible. We want these stacks. I don't know where my boy's going, actually, right now. Christian Watson falling even further. Doesn't make sense with the reports coming out. Does hurt my heart. Does hurt my heart a lot. D-Hop coming off the board, sniping us yet again here. We do have a lot of these running backs that we're not taking. Wow, we're in a really terrible position. I'm not going to lie. I don't want Antonio Gibson here. Just because I already have 3 running backs. I can probably justify taking Antonio Gibson here, but I think the main course of action would be to go TJ Hawkinson and secure at least a decent tight end here. And then either Ayuk. I'm a little concerned with Gage. Gage was getting absolutely pushed up. Now he's falling back down. I still would take him over Julio Jones. Torn between him and Gibson. I think we got to go Gibson here. Could lose goal line carries, though. I don't know. I think going Gibson here is probably the move, and then just maximizing our ceiling with wide receiver and tight end. Just because Gibson is so talented. I know. The workload is scary. It is. But at this point, if he's falling all the way to pick 85, he, in my opinion, pretty much just has to be a value. It is possible he gets absolutely screwed here. It is possible this is a bad pick entirely. But the ceiling is definitely there. He won't be a Christian McCaffrey level pass catcher. But he can get 50, 60 targets this year. Especially if J.D. McKissick goes down. Brian Robinson, they took him at the end of the 3rd round. Not really somebody you have to worry about so much. When you do have a guy like Antonio Gibson, the one thing you have to worry about, though, is if Antonio Gibson fumbles. That is really, really scary. If he fumbles to start the season, I think the coaching staff could easily bench him here. And that would be something that I really would be intimidated with. But at the end of the day, you can never predict fumbles. It's really, really hard. From year to year, it's nearly impossible to predict teams fumbling or players fumbling. It's just such a rare event, such a low sample size event that, how could you possibly know whether Antonio Gibson's going to fumble 6 times again? It certainly is possible. He was a wide receiver, and wide receivers do fumble more than running backs. But he's going into his, 3rd NFL season now? He should hopefully be learning a little bit more. I'm a little concerned. I'm definitely concerned about Antonio Gibson. But at the end of the day, I think here it's too much of a value to pass up on. We got Chase Edmonds coming off the board as well. Valdez Scaling, Robert Woods, Gage. I think Gage will probably plummet enough to where he could become a value again as well. Chris Godwin is most likely coming back, which is unfortunate for Gage. And same thing with the Julio Jones news. Both aren't really too great for Gage at the end of the day, which does kind of stink. Good thing I have no Gage shares, because I really was not buying into the whole Gage hype thing. I don't really fully get it, but I think Gage might be falling enough. Let's say he falls to pick 115, 116. I could definitely see Gage becoming a value yet again. Because at the end of the day, he's going to be the wide receiver 3 in an insane offense. Antonio Brown, not to compare Russell Gage and Antonio Brown, they're not even in the same stratosphere. But Antonio Brown was succeeding a ton in Tampa Bay. If Russell Gage experiences anywhere near the success than Antonio Brown had, he's going to be worth a pick here, I would say. He'll keep falling, and I think eventually he'll become a value. We just have to see when. I would probably take him at 109, maybe, something like that, if he fell there. I think that's around appropriate value for him. But he will keep falling, so just keep your eye out, and eventually his ADP may be good enough. Wow, this board is gross, and people need to start taking these running backs, these quarterbacks off the board. I need to stop. I can't see this anymore. I can't see Kareem Hunt anymore. I can't do this. Maybe we do go Dallas Goddard here. I think Dallas Goddard probably will be a pick, so that way we just only have to take 2 tight ends, which I really, really like. I always love to do that. I also really don't get the Aaron Rodgers hate. Aaron Rodgers is getting faded into oblivion here. He is now 110 ADP. Sure, his weapons, of course, are not the same as what it used to be. But he's still a phenomenal quarterback. He's still a top 5 quarterback of all time. One of the most efficient quarterbacks, and he will probably lose some touchdown volume here. But he'll make that back with efficiency. I mean, they're probably going to have to throw the ball more. Or he'll get more volume, so to speak, because they're probably going to need to throw the ball more without Deontay Adams, so he'll get more volume this year. Here, we do need wide receivers. I do like Kareem Hunt a lot, though, and I really hate... Oh, thank God. Honestly, I'm happy. We may take Aaron Rodgers here. Get a QB... Get our QB 2. Because Dak Prescott is off the board here. I would prefer Aaron Rodgers over Derek Carr as well. That's probably who we're going to go. We're going to go Aaron Rodgers here. And then we're going to try and secure a wide receiver or tight end. Let me stop clicking this. Oh my god, I keep messing up. I mean, Zach Ertz would be smart here because I will be having the Marquis stack, the Kyler Murray stack. But I think I prefer Rondale Moore just because Rondale Moore most likely will be receiving a fairly high workload in this offense. I do like Rondale Moore here. I do think next round, I'm really hoping that these wide receivers stop getting pushed up. It is possible sometimes that these wide receivers just keep getting pushed up and keep getting pushed up, which would be really, really unfortunate. But I think now, I mean, look at this. This guy's only drafted wide receivers, only wide receivers. These guys, I mean, they have to start taking running backs at a point. James Cook comes off the board. This guy has to probably take a QB or something. He might be planning for a Deshaun Watson, which would be a little concerning. We are going to take Deshaun Watson in the next round, though, 1,000%. And then I do hope someone like Irv Smith falls to us. I mean, obviously, Christian Watson would be insane if he fell to us, especially because we do have Aaron Rodgers. There's a lot of players we could realistically end up taking here at pick 132 and 133. I mean, I think Deshaun Watson's basically a must to take here at pick 132. Although I generally don't like reaching, I generally hate reaching. I think in this scenario it's okay because the Puppy 3 draft room just launched. Because it just launched, not many people are getting Deshaun Watson at pick 160, 170, whereas ADP actually is. They're going to be taking him earlier. Of course, there are going to be a few drafts where he will fall there, but very, very few and far between. I don't think he's going to make it that long. And this is a guy who's a top 5 quarterback when he plays. We got Irv Smith coming off the board. See, this is exactly what we want to see. This is what I was saying. We got quarterbacks off the board. We got running backs. We got tight ends. The positions we want off the board are off the board now a little bit more, so we should be hopefully getting some more running backs here, or running backs off the board, quarterbacks off the board, and these type of guys, so that way we can get some wide receiver value to fall to us. Although Christian Watson's being absolutely faded into oblivion now because he's expected to miss time during his training camp, which is fair. I mean, it is fair to say that. I'm getting Christian Watson most likely going to be the wide receiver 2 in that offense is really, really still a smart move. I mean, sure, it could be Romeo Doubs, but they traded up to get Christian Watson. I think draft capital, at this point, probably reigns supreme. Romeo Doubs, I think, is somebody you should absolutely be getting as well. I will definitely be taking him. Here, whatever pick he is, he's probably soaring up boards at this point, but Romeo Doubs going up to pick 200, I will definitely be taking him there. Probably going to be soaring up even further. We got Matt Ryan. We're 8 picks away now. We still got Christian Watson on the board. See, I don't understand taking Matt Ryan over a guy like Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's been at 6 games. There you go. Came out 9 hours ago. It was today. 6 games is really not that much. I mean, that's the same Lamar missed last year, and he still finished the QB 15. Points per game is really king in this league format. So, I mean, why not take a Deshaun Watson? Unless we get sniped here, it is possible we do. Radio Cambodia may snipe us. I have a feeling he might honestly snipe us, which would be awful, which would be painful. But, I mean, Deshaun Watson, higher ceiling than any of these guys on the board right now. I mean, absolutely anybody. There's nobody who's even close to Deshaun Watson's ceiling here. So we're going to definitely take him. I mean, Christian Watson would be an absolute blessing as well if I could get both of them. Dameon Pierce comes off the board. Makes sense. I mean, it is possible he starts day one. And at that point, if you're going with the 0 RB strategy, which it looks like he pretty much was, taking DeAndre Swift. Actually, never mind. I take it back. Wow, his team's actually really good. I like this team a lot. This team's actually really, really strong. Okay, interesting. I guess he did see the value. I do like this team. Actually, really, like, oh my god, this team is awesome. Jalen Tolbert coming off the board. A guy who will probably be rising up draft boards over the past. Oh my god, we can get Christian Watson here, potentially. Feluccio, please don't snipe us under 2 guys here. If we can get these 2 guys, I would jump for joy. Oh my god, it'd make me so happy. Jacoby Myers will be somebody else, but I just don't think he offers the same ceiling. Christian Watson comes off the board. So we take Deshaun Watson here. And we probably will take Gallup or Myers. I'm kind of torn. I just don't think... I think Gallup offers a higher ceiling. And I mean, at wide receiver, that's what we need. Obviously, he won't be there to start the season, but that's okay. So now we have all of our quarterbacks for the entire rest of the draft. We just need one more tight end, and then we just absolutely hammer these wide receivers. We don't even need another running back, honestly. I'm going to leave it with this, most likely. We're just going to hammer these wide receivers. Julio coming off the board at pick 136. He will be flying up these boards. We probably will be taking David Bell at 156 here as well, considering we do have a lot of the stack. And then hopefully Donovan Peoples-Jones. I want to see where actually they're going right now. Where's David Bell at? So we have Donovan Peoples-Jones coming off the board at pick 200. So we are going to wait on him. We're going to star him up, though. And David Bell at pick 208. These guys are going to be absolutely soaring up boards here. Although it does suck, we're going to have a ton of Week 9 buys. I'm okay with it. I mean, realistically, we're going to be having an insane stack, which is okay by me. And we're just going to flesh out our wide receivers for the rest of the draft anyways. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter too much. Our production for the first 6 weeks of the season is going to honestly suck. It's going to suck ass, but our production past those 6 weeks is going to be absolutely ridiculous. I mean, we're going to have some of the best production in the entire league. When Gallup comes back, when Amari Cooper has Deshaun Watson, and when we get David Bell and Donovan Peoples-Jones. I mean, these wide receivers are going to be getting the ball an absolute ton from Deshaun Watson. I mean, people are saying that there's going to be a run-first offense still. I just don't agree. I mean, when you switch from the top 5 quarterback into the league, going from Baker Mayfield, somebody who, I mean, I think being generous is saying he's league average. You're going to pass the ball at least a little bit more. I think Baker could potentially be underrated. I mean, he was dealing with a shoulder injury the entire season, had to get surgery on it. So it is possible he's a tiny bit underrated. But, I mean, Deshaun Watson's, like, just insane. Anyways, if you guys do enjoy this video, please go down, leave a like on this video. Please comment if you do enjoy. Let me know what you think about the Deshaun Watson news. And subscribe. I think that would mean the world to me. I mean, it would seriously make my day if you guys subscribed. I mean, every subscriber I get so happy. So, not begging, but I'm basically on my knees here. Basically on my knees. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. Anyways, back to the video. Got Joshua Palmer still on the board. Wow. Tyler Algier still on the board. Wow. Van Jefferson still on the board. A lot of guys we like here. Joshua Palmer now off. I mean, I really just can't even justify taking Tyler Algier. I'm so glad he's off the board. We're going to go with 2 wide receivers here. Probably Jameson Williams and Van Jeff. Although, our upside past week 6 is ridiculous. But before week 6, it's really going to be like a weak team. It's going to be a pretty heavy drought. Maybe we go KJ Osborne here then. Because KJ Osborne at least should have like a decent role in this offense. And then I love Van Jeff here, honestly. I think Van Jeff's a sick pick here. I mean, he's one of the best ball picks I could make in this range. I mean, he's going to be getting absolute bombs from a guy named Matt Stafford, quarterback champ, or Super Bowl champion. So I like Van Jeff here. I'll take KJ Osborne too. I really haven't been taking too many KJ Osborne shares, but I mean, here it just makes sense. I don't really think there's any tight ends that I really like. Alberto's being faded. Thank God. I mean, I'm a little pissed because I was one of the people calling for Alberto to be faded. I definitely think he should be. But at the same time, now that everyone else is catching on, I don't like it because I really like the value. I really like when people take them. It's like a free $5 pretty much from me. But now we're just gonna hammer these wide receivers yet again. We're gonna hope probably to get back to back here, 180 and 181, David Bell and Donovan Peoples-Jones. I think that's probably the best course of action because we really don't know who's gonna be the number 2. Reports have been coming out saying Donovan Peoples-Jones is the number 2. But I mean, how? I buy into these training camp reports a little bit, but I think it's really tough to buy into these training camp reports all the time. I mean, you really don't know. They did just draft David Bell in the 3rd round. I know 3rd round is an absolutely insane draft capital. It's the same draft capital Brian Robinson got. But at the same time, the wide receiver 2 job is wide open. And now that he's, oh my God, I absolutely love this. Please get in your drafts. Please, please, please. And try and get these guys. Donovan Peoples-Jones. I might actually wait another round because 204 and 205, I might try and wait around on David Bell. Even though it's probably going to be unsuccessful, I think it is smart. We got Robbie Anderson coming off the board here. Robbie Anderson's so inefficient last season. The most inefficient guy to have over 100 targets since, I don't know, it was like 1,000 wide receivers tracked, like something like that. That's terrible. That's actually horrible. But at this point, he is somebody who got 100 targets. Not a lot of wide receivers can claim they've gotten 100 targets in a season. I would probably say, 30 wide receivers, one or two wide receivers on each team have received over 100 targets. So, it's really not that many. So, Robbie Anderson, an interesting pick here. Then we got Tunyon. And, I do at least think Baker, like I was saying, it's generous to call him league average, but it is possible that he is being slept on right here, right now. I think going as low as he is pretty sad, considering guys like Mac Jones are going over him. Mac Jones has absolutely no rushing upside, in a better situation, but they don't really throw the ball that much either. At least Daniel Jones, I understand he's got the rushing upside, and rushing upside is so important. 60 yards, every 60 yards you rush, that's a passing touchdown, or that's a rushing touchdown right there. Every 40 yards you rush, that's a passing touchdown that you otherwise would not have gotten. So rushing for 400 yards, that's 10 passing touchdowns right there. Something not a lot of people understand. They're like, oh, rushing, it's a big deal, but it's not huge. That's why people are taking Trey Lance so early. That's why people are taking Jalen Hurts so early. Josh Allen. That's why all these guys are getting so pushed up. Daniel Jones being one of them, because you expect Daniel Jones to run for 300-400 yards this season, especially when his career is absolutely on the line this year. If he doesn't feast, it's over for him. So it is interesting. We got Raheem Mostert coming off the board. Paris Campbell would be a nice pickup here as well. We are going to take 2 wide receivers here. We got Paris Campbell off the board here. A little unfortunate. McKenzie has been rising up boards a ton, too. In the absence of Jameson Crowder, who I may actually consider taking here. I may consider taking McKenzie. Just getting a guy, if he does end up being the wide receiver 2 in this offense, it would be really nice. Even if he ends up being the wide receiver 3, it's possible he gets, at least a decent amount of touches. We're going to have a lot of Week 7 buys as well, but it's okay. I'm fine with it. I don't understand taking Marvin Jones. Guy's like 37 years old. He's basically in a retirement home at this point. I don't understand. But we're going to take Isaiah McKenzie, and then we're going to take Donovan Peoples-Jones here. I know it's a reach. I don't care. I really don't. Normally, I think reaching is terrible. In this situation, reaching is not terrible. It's a very unique situation. Isaiah McKenzie comes off the board. You're such an asshole. Alright, so first I'll make my pick Donovan Peoples-Jones, but I don't know who I'm going to take second. Maybe Dobbs second. It is possible. We're going to take Dobbs here, even though it is back-to-back reaches. Dobbs, standing out early in camp, it is possible that he is does well in camp, and at that point, why not try and take him? We do need one more tight end pretty badly. Whether it ends up being Hayden Hurst or the like. Honestly, this would be pretty sick if I get Hayden Hurst and David Bell. Hayden Hurst has been impressive to start camp. That's interesting. It is nice seeing all this news here, too. It is nice having, the little alerts here and everything. It would be pretty nice if we could get Hayden Hurst here. It might have been smart to try and wait till 204, 205 to get Romeo Dobbs. But I think Donovan Peoples-Jones will definitely be off the board. I don't know why. I'm surprised I got all these these Cleveland Browns wide receivers. It does feel nice, though, getting these stacks up. We do have an absolutely... It's a weird team combo. I don't usually build like this. But having 8 wide receivers is pretty much necessary with the... David Bell coming off the board, pick 185. So, yeah, there's no way Donovan Peoples-Jones would have stayed on the board here. Absolutely zero chance. But even still, we're gonna be doing more of these drafts. We're gonna be getting David Bell and the stacks way more. We did kind of need 8 wide receivers here. We can even go with... I mean, we're definitely going with the 9th here. We needed these guys, though, because Gallup's going to be missing week 1. Amari Cooper is going to have 6 weeks without his top quarterback. Same thing with Donovan Peoples-Jones. I mean, this wide receiver room, I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit scary. Although there's 8 people here. It's really not that good of a wide receiver room. But this running back room's insane. Really, every other position, like quarterback, is insane. Running back's insane. Wide receiver, I could at least say we compensated by getting a lot of them. And TJ Hawkinson, I mean, that's why we're really hoping for Hayden Hurst here. If Hayden Hurst falls to us, I mean, that would make my day. Hayden Hurst, the reason I really like him this year, especially because he's still on the board, and at his ADP, is because he's walking into an offense where CJ Uzomah was fed pretty decently. I mean, nothing insane, but CJ Uzomah had multiple games where he was dropping, 15, 20 points, getting 2 touchdowns. The receptions weren't that high, I'll be honest, but having Hayden Hurst, a guy, I mean, who will at least have 3 or 4 weeks where he produces as a good tight end for me, I'll take. And he can have those boom weeks, especially in the last week, which is really what we need. I mean, I think this team is really, really strong. Grabbing Deshaun Watson here. We're going to be taking Deshaun Watson absolutely everywhere. I'm telling you guys now. Deshaun Watson. That's who we're going to be taking. Surprised Alec Pierce is still on the board, too. Devin Duvernay, Terrace Marshall. There's a lot of guys I still really like here. So we're going to just take whichever one's the best. We got Austin Hooper coming off the board. Surprised nobody's biting. Nobody's biting on Hayden Hurst. I mean, this guy only has one tight end. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does snipe me on him. Everybody else has 2, except for this guy, who also only has 1. But I'm guessing he's waiting for somebody at 215. Probably like a Gronk-type player, which makes sense. I mean, if Gronk does come out of retirement, they would be really good. I don't think he will at this point. I mean, I think he's made it like a pretty abundantly clear. I mean, maybe Greg Dulcich, too, is interesting. It is possible. We've got Brevin Jordan coming off the board before Hayden Hurst. This is interesting. I don't know. I would probably end up taking Dulcich here. Coach downplays absence. I mean, I would most likely be taking Dulcich here if Hurst is off the board. Because none of these other guys, I mean, Taysom Hill, you really just don't know with him. No more Sean Payton, too, which I think is huge. I mean, I feel like people aren't talking about that enough. I mean, why draft Taysom Hill if Sean Payton isn't there? Sean Payton is the only reason Taysom Hill was getting all the work he was. We got Will Fuller coming off the board. Another guy where it's like, I should probably take him. I look at Julio Jones here, and now Julio Jones is going to be absolutely skyrocketing up board, so I should take him, but I mean, I do think Will Fuller probably is a value at 197, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't want him that bad. I'm a little worried about Campbell possibly sniping us on Hurst here. It is certainly possible, and that would be annoying, but what can you do? And then we'll take a 9th guy at wide receiver and call it a day. Samir White coming off the board. Hayden Hurst gets sniped from us, ripped out from our hands. Is a little unfortunate. We're not just going to go with one tight end, though. We can't do that. We're probably going to go Duvernay here because he is hopping into the guaranteed wide receiver 2 role pretty much. I mean, I just can't see anybody. Any of those guys really surpassing him. I mean, it is possible. The only other situation is if they get Will Fuller. If they get Will Fuller, Devin Duvernay will be plummeting down boards. It is unfortunate to say. But that's really the only situation where they would get screwed here. And now we're going to go with, like I said, Greg Dulcich. Although I really didn't want to have to do that. I was really hoping for Hayden Hurst. We do get Greg Dulcich. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please go down, leave a like down below, leave a comment, #bestball so you can be entered into this contest, and subscribe. And I hope you guys all have a great day.